it's Tirzah Sephora, and today's video is going to be different. I'm basically going to be talking about small boobs and just overall plastic surgery, and the reason why I'm doing this video is because I was inspired by Nikki Rodri to do this video. Not only that, she's like one of my favorite YouTubers because she's very inspiring and just all about self-love, and that's why she is like my favorite YouTuber. So this video is also going to be kind of like a response video to her. So there is that. And also, if you notice, I am not wearing a bra just for the sake of this video, so that way you all know that this is how my small boobs look like. It looks like I have nothing. So yeah, anyways, before I get started with this video, grab a snack because this video may be very, very long, and I apologize for that. And also, I apologize if I'm looking down. It's because I wrote everything down in this notebook so that way I could remember. So without further ado, let's just get started. Anyways, Nikki Rodri did a video called How I Learned to Love My Small Boobs, and I absolutely love this video because not many of us who are part of the itty bitty titty committee has ever talked about their insecurities with their small boobs, such as me, and I feel like it's a good idea to basically talk about it because Nikki Rodri basically goes over how some women experience bad side effects due to plastic surgery, and she basically gives advice and, you know, basically kind of shows us on how to like love yourself and just accepting yourself for who you are and with how your body is made. And I love that. I was just so inspired because I related to her so much, especially when she was explaining her journey as she was growing up with small boobs, and she always felt like she just wanted bigger boobs and wanted to get plastic surgery, and I have felt that way on so many levels. I also could have used that video that Nikki Rodri did when I was younger, and I mean, heck, I actually needed that video today. I mean, it doesn't matter whether I was like younger, I could have needed that video, but I still need that video today because let's face it, I agree with her. Not a lot of people actually talk about, you know, small boobs. It's always all about, you know, how to get bigger boobs, and there's all these subliminal messages on ads, and it kind of just makes us feel like you're supposed to have big boobs to feel or be beautiful, you know, and it's just, you know, I felt like I just could have used a video like this because I had such insecurities of my small boobs because, like I said, I've always just wanted to maybe get plastic surgery because I hated how small they were because, you know, sometimes there'll be like clothes, like dresses that my boobs will not fill into, and I would be so upset because it's like, why can't dresses be made for like, you know, why can't some dresses be made for girls with small boobs, you know, and like I didn't have that cleavage like other girls, so I felt really bad. And that's why I love this video that Nikki did because, you know, like I said, not a lot of people talk about small boobs like at all. It's mainly things that are focused on how to grow your boobs bigger or how to make your boobs appear bigger. You know, that's all it has ever been. Anyways, when Nikki Rodri was explaining her journey, I literally just basically related to her in so many ways because as I was growing up, I was always picked on for my small boobs because I remember clearly in middle school, I was gonna go up in front to basically give my work to the teacher, and I had these two kids in the front. So basically what happened was when I was going into the front of the class to basically give my work to the teacher, they were like, oh, she doesn't have anything, or like she doesn't have anything, and they're like checking me out like from bottom to top, and I was literally like flat chested in middle school, and they would just pick on me like that, and I remember it so clearly, and I still know who they are. Like I said, I don't know if they remember, but I do. I know who you were, and I remember what you said, but you are forgiven because we were kids back then, and the highest peak of bullying actually happens in middle school, and I learned that in college when I was studying to be a primary education teacher because basically we're all maturing in middle school. This is where we're all hitting puberty, and we're getting you know, we're growing these things and our bodies are just changing. So a lot of the times that is the highest peak of bullying because, you know, they're there and they're like, oh, like, you know, she doesn't have any boobs, or this girl has boobs, and you know how guys are, they just start at such a young age, and you would think high school is the highest peak of bullying. It actually isn't. Fact is, it is middle school. It is the highest peak of bullying, and I experienced it. You know, they would check me out, and they'd be like, oh, she's so flat, you know, like I didn't have anything. And I felt horrible because a lot of the times people already had like bigger boobs than I did, and it sucked. Like some of my friends had bigger boobs than me, including my cousins. My cousins had bigger boobs than me, and I was just a person that was slowly blooming, you know. I'm still slowly blooming. Like, I've noticed some changes, which is really crazy. It's because I slowly bloom as compared to other women, and it always made me feel bad because I felt that I looked like I was 12 years old because of how flat my chest was. And I always felt like I had like a 12-year-old body, or like, you know, and it sucked. And I just hated my body for a while. And it took me just until now, after seeing Nikki's video, to even realize that, you know, what's wrong with me with hating my body. You know, like, I just noticed that I hated it because, you know, my cousins were already growing. By the time they were like 14 or 15, they had a woman's body. Like, no joke, they had a woman's body, and they also had bigger boobs. And I hope they don't get offended. I mean, that's really cool, you know, like, they grew up faster than me, and I just felt left out. Like, I really did. I was like the little runt because I didn't really have I didn't have big boobs or a big butt or even like this whole entire woman's body. Like, at the age of 14 or 15, it wasn't like that. I still looked like I was 12, and everybody else was already maturing. So I felt really depressed because of that. And my parents would basically, you know, try to cheer me up, and they're like, it's okay to look young, and it's okay this and that, because as you get older, by the time you're 40, you're still gonna look like you're 20. And, you know, like, that did make me like feel a little bit better. But my parents would try to do that, but still, I just felt so insecure with my body, and I would look at myself naked and just be like, I hate how I am. Like, I hated the way I looked, and I just look like I have a 12-year-old body. And I would compare. I would scroll to Instagram and be like, this girl is like around my age, and she has like a bigger butt, and she has a curvy waist and all of this. And I just felt so sad because of it. Like, it bothered me so very much. Like, I would always question my parents. I would be like, why do I look like this? Why do I look so young? You know, why do I look like I'm freaking 12? Why can't I have big boobs, this and that? And I just felt horrible. And then I would have like some people tell me, oh, your boobs will get bigger if you have kids. And instead of telling me like to love yourself for who you are, or you look good the way you are, I would get people, you know, basically tell me, oh, you'll get bigger boobs when you're kids. Like, I don't know, like, I would think other people would just try to motivate me, and instead I'd feel worse about myself, and I'd be like, no, like, I don't want to have kids right now. I don't want to have kids just to have bigger boobs. Like, that's pretty crazy and insane. Like, hell no, that's not for me. So as I was watching Nikki Audrey explain the whole plastic surgery process, because that's how I thought about, you know, getting plastic surgery, like I said. And when Nikki Rodri was explaining these women that were talking about how sick these implants made them, and it's actually called implant illness. And it is so crazy to me because I didn't think that you can get sick and it could just affect your overall health if you were to get implants or just, you know, plastic surgery on your breast. Like, I had no idea that could happen. I was just so astonished and just so shocked when Nikki was talking about this. I was like, that is so crazy. Some women have gotten mold in their breast implants, and it's super insane. And I was watching this YouTube video that Nikki Rodri posted down in her description. She was basically explaining how she was feeling super sick and super ill, and she would get checked, and there was nothing, like nothing could be found that there was something wrong. And she felt so helpless and depressed because she's like, there's something physically wrong with me and nobody knows why or what's wrong. And she felt so helpless. And then people started pointing out, there's implant illnesses, and she just like, it just went above her head, and she's like, it can't be that, whatever. And then like she started noticing this, then she started doing more investigations, and she found out that yes, implant illness is a thing and it does make people sick. So when she started to realize that, she's like, no, like I need to get rid of this. And it's just so crazy because so many women experience that, like millions of women. And she said she was like feeling very fatigued and all of this stuff, just super tired and all of this. I'll put the link down below so you all could check it out, to the video that Nikki Rodri posted on her description, and it just freaked me out. And that is when I was like, no, like I'd rather not get plastic surgery and just, you know, love myself for who I am if it means getting sick when it came to the whole thing, because it affects your whole entire health. And that is just, like I said, very crazy to me, and it's just wow. So basically the reason why it makes you sick is because whenever you put like a foreign object into your body basically attacks it, and it's like an invader basically. And that's what Nikki Rodri was explaining, and I was like, that's insane, like that really is. So basically what happens is that it attacks that foreign object. So anything that you put in your body that's like basically that doesn't belong there or that's not natural from your body, it will literally attack it. And that's, like I said, it's wow. So I just started to realize that that's something that I wouldn't want to do to myself or put my body into. So that's pretty crazy. So basically anything foreign that is in your body that doesn't belong there, you are bound to get sick, because your body is working so hard to make yourself healthy and taking care of you, or taking care of your body just alone. It's working so hard, so you are bound to get sick when you have foreign objects into your body that doesn't belong there. So because of the fact that Nikki Rodri was talking about all of this and I was doing research on these videos, I decided, you know, I would never ever want to do that, because like I said, I don't want to put my body into a situation like that. And I also felt like if I were to do that, I would be doing it just to fit into society's beauty standards, and I feel like that's something that I didn't want to do. So I finally just realized and accepted myself for who I am. And it's crazy because it took me so long. I've been going through this, like through my small boobs insecurity, since I was like 14 or 15, and it finally just went away. And now I'm just like, okay, I love my small boobs, like after Nikki Rodri had like talked about it. And I thank her so very much. Like, I don't know, she may not watch this video, but Nikki Rodri, honestly, like, thank you, because if I wouldn't have known about this, I probably would have like screwed up my life in the future if I decided to have gotten plastic surgery or whatever. And it is so easy to compare yourself nowadays within this society, because they have certain beauty standards, like especially because, you know, the whole Kylie Jenners and all of them, they made plastic surgery like a norm kind of thing. So people look up to that, especially like young girls. And it's sad to me, because it's like we feel the need that we need to change in order to fit into the whole beauty standards to be considered beautiful. And it's pretty sad to me when we really think about it. And sometimes we don't realize how social media affects us. Like, we really don't. And it's just crazy to me now that I think about it. See, like, nowadays society kind of puts in that, oh, you gotta have curves, you gotta have a small waist, you gotta have a big butt, big boobs, you know, in order to be considered beautiful. And it really shouldn't be that way. Like, you need to like accept yourself for who you are, because like, really, in general, like, who cares? Like, who cares what people think? We all should just love ourselves for how we were made. I mean, of course, you know, I have no say, you know, if you want to get plastic surgery or anything, that's cool, you know, but I mean, like I said, I wouldn't want to put my body through that. And I thank Nikki Rodri for opening my eyes and realizing that I'm beautiful just the way I am. And that was really reassuring to me, because she kind of has, because me and her have like the similar features with the small boobs. We both have small boobs, and that's why I looked up to Nikki Rodri, because she actually spoke up about it, and it was something that I never spoke up about it. So because of that, I felt like I should talk about it. And I also feel like more women should speak up about it, because in reality we don't. We're always so ashamed, and we're just, you know, so worried about our bodies. And it's like, you know, we always try to just basically, like I said, fit into beauty standards, and we feel like small boobs is just something that like is something that doesn't make you beautiful, and we just feel like ashamed of it, which it shouldn't have to be that way. And another thing that Nikki Rodri talked about in the video was when she mentioned this Twitter post, and I have it written down. right here. And the tweet went like this: to all the girls with C cups and above, good morning, and to all the girls with B's and below, good morning, little boy. And that's horrible. I have seen this tweet, so I remember which one Nikki Rodri was talking about. I've seen this tweet before, and it is just so ignorant and just very horrible, and it's really dumb, honestly, because if you feel the need to see people that way, then I don't know what to tell you. It honestly shouldn't be that way. And there's another thing that I saw on Twitter, which I wrote down here. I saw this one, I don't remember how long it was, but it was long ago. This one was pretty bad. And this one says, small breasts, that's why your heart gets broken too easily, because you have no airbags to support your emotions. That one was really horrible. Like, honestly, I don't know, but people are going to joke about you like that, you know, all the time. People are going to joke about anything that you have, really. Small boobs, you know, your butt, your nose, whatever it is. You know, I'm going to be honest, people are assholes. They really are going to try to put you down in any way they can. They are going to joke around. That's just how people are. Sometimes you just got to just ignore it. Not sometimes. You just got to ignore it and just, who cares what other people think, you know, just be yourself, and one of these days, you know, someone's gonna love you for who you are. And this is why I also appreciate my boyfriend, because he loves me and for who I am. Like, he knows how much I've always hated my body, how insecure I was, and how much I never really liked my small boobs. And my boyfriend's just super funny, because he would be like, you know, they're still boobs, because I'd be like, my boobs are too small, and he'd be like, they're still boobs. And boobs are boobs, you know? And I love that about him, because he appreciates me and loves me for who I am, and he thinks I'm really beautiful, and I need to start seeing myself like that. I need to start loving myself for who I am and not care about, you know, what other people think. Like Nikki Rodri said, if you compare yourself, comparison is just basically a thief to joy. And I loved what she said, because it is so true. Because when you constantly compare yourself, you're just like, oh, you know, like, this person has that, you know, this person has a big butt and I don't. And it's just like, it's just a thief to your joy, and it shouldn't have to be that way, and you shouldn't have to live like that. And like I said, people are going to joke around about it so much. They're going to, you know, make fun of whatever you have, whether you have small boobs, big boobs, it doesn't matter. They're just gonna laugh at you, and that's fine. Like I said, people are assholes, and you just gotta focus on yourself and just love yourself. And that is what I'm starting to do. That is my challenge. I'm gonna be, you know, pushing back. And if I'm ever scrolling and I compare myself to someone, I think it's gonna be a very hard challenge for me, but it is best to take a pause, and just think to yourself and just be like, you know what, I'm beautiful, my body is banging, it's sexy, you know, that's the way I was made. And just, you know, be accepting of it, because if you're constantly just comparing and all this stuff, you're not really going to be happy. And like I said, I agree with Nikki Rodri, so it is very important. She also gave some tips, which I loved. One of them was basically, if you're starting to compare yourself to other people, you know, delete them, unfollow those people. Like, if you're following people that don't have the same body features as you, such as they have these curves and these big butts and big legs, you know, the stuff that you want, unfollow them. And I agree, like, it may sound petty, but just unfollow them, because you're not gonna feel happy. You're gonna be constantly just like, I wish I had this body. So I completely agreed with Nikki Rodri when she said that. And it is best to just like follow people that have the same features, you know, that are very confident within their body, and they're like, oh, okay, you know, if she can rock her body and just be, you know, super confident, then you can too, which is really true. And Nikki also discussed Selena Gomez, because there was an interview Selena Gomez did, and I didn't even know she did this, and she was basically talking about her body image. And, you know, as beautiful as she is, no joke, Selena Gomez is naturally beautiful. She's gorgeous. She doesn't need to do anything with her body. She's just super beautiful. She herself had to take a break from social media because she was comparing herself. Just imagine if Selena Gomez herself can feel that way. Imagine how a young girl can feel like just a young teen, because they see all these Kylie Jenners, you know, getting plastic surgery, and, you know, just to fit into their, you know, I guess fit into the beauty standards nowadays, and they're looking and they're scrolling and they're like, oh, I have to look this way. And it's very hard because when you're a teen, your body is like still growing, and then there's the bullying in school, just like how I experienced, and then they're wondering, why do I gotta look this way? You know, why do I gotta be this way? So that's why it is very important that we just take a moment and just focus on ourselves and just realize that, you know, love yourself for who you are. You're very beautiful, you're sexy, your body is just banging, and like I said, someone is gonna love you for you, and you need to learn how to love yourself. And I'm starting to learn to love myself a lot more and accepting myself for who I am. And you know, like after watching Nikki Rodri, I'm just really thankful for that video that she did. Like, thank you so much. It's a lifesaver. It's a lifesaver to know these things, that someone else is going through it. Someone else that has small boobs has felt insecure, you know, has felt that they needed to get plastic surgery. Like, it's really good for younger girls to know this, you know, so that way they know that they're not alone. Because really, you are not alone if you're one who feels insecure about anything with your body, whether it's a small butt. Like, it's okay, you know. And I mean, if you're in a relationship with someone who, like, or if there's like a guy or whatever that only cares about, you know, your looks, you know, like, and they make fun of you because you have small boobs, like, say bye to them. Like, you don't need them, you know, girl or boy, whoever's making fun of you, just, you know, bye. Like, you don't need them. Be you, you know, be confident, you know, just always focus on yourself. And like I said, Nikki Rodri's video was absolutely amazing, and I loved it. And I feel like girls should know that they're not alone, and I know I'm not alone now after Nikki Rodri did that video, so I feel a whole lot better. I know for sure that I love my boobs now for how they are, and I'm accepting of them. And another thing, the reason why I realized I also didn't want to have big boobs is because my mom, you know, she went through breast cancer. She's in remission right now. Some of you all know this if you're watching my video. My mom was going through stage 4 of breast cancer. And she just says, she told me that it just makes it difficult in general to have big boobs, especially when going through breast cancer. And she just, you know, said to just basically be accepting of like my small boobs and all that stuff. So after realizing that and seeing my mom go through like cancer and stuff, I just realized that I just need to love myself, like overall. That's all I need. So with that said, I am just overall thankful for Nikki Rodri's video. I feel so much better about myself knowing that somebody else went through a similar situation, you know, growing up with small boobs, and I was going through the same thing, like I said, and I had a lot of trouble growing up because I just kept comparing myself. And yeah, like, and it's hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard in a society that we live in today now, because a lot of the beauty standards, you know, are all about like having certain things, like I said, like, you know, small waist, the big butt, and all this stuff. Like, at one point I actually wanted to like make my lips bigger because I hated the way my lips are, and everybody was doing these whole fillers and getting bigger lips, and I hated it. And I had friends who told me, like, don't change yourself because you're really beautiful for how you are. And my boyfriend was like, exactly, like, you are beautiful like the way you are, you don't need to change. And that's what I love about my boyfriend. He's like a huge support. He makes me feel beautiful just being myself, even without makeup. He's always telling me how gorgeous I am, and that makes me happy because I've always felt so ugly and insecure without makeup because I have all these acne and acne scars and all this stuff. But he makes me feel beautiful, and he just loves me for me. And now that I've like went on to this new relationship, it has changed me so much in so many levels. I realized so many things, and I'm starting to just love myself a lot more and accepting myself. So it's really good. So if you're a young girl out there, you know, don't worry about what people think. I know there's gonna be some bullies and some assholes that are gonna, like, you know, mess with you because you have small boobs. Like those other tweet posts, like, don't listen to them. Like, they're just really ignorant. And like Nikki Rodri said, we're in 2020 and they still believe in that. It's stupid. And like I said, don't compare yourself to anybody. If you are doing that now, why don't we all just take the challenge of just focusing on ourselves, and like Nikki Rodri said, like, clear your following list and just remove people that you compare yourself or that make you feel bad about yourself, just remove them off and start following people that have the same features as you. That way you'll be more motivated and more confident within yourself, and you'll be like, yeah, she's rocking her body, she's confident, I could do that too. So that is why I love Nikki Rodri's video, and I just want to thank her so very much for it, because like I said, I feel better about myself, and I know that I don't have to fit into these beauty standards that people have. And I know it's like I said, it's super hard because there's all these ads, you know, shoved down our faces and shoved down our throats and be like, you gotta look like this and you gotta have, you know, these bigger lips and all this stuff. Like, no. It's gonna be hard, but I think we should all take that challenge today and start, you know, loving ourselves and accepting ourselves. You know, I mean, if you're gonna get plastic surgery, cool, go ahead and do that. Like, I'm not a judgeable person. Like, I'm not gonna judge you for it. I don't even think judgeable is a word, but I'm not gonna judge you for it. If you want to go and do that, you know, go ahead, go for it. But to others that feel like they need to do it specifically just to fit into beauty standards, like, really, you don't need to fit in. Like, I don't know. I also was never like that in high school. Like, I was never a person who would want to fit in or be popular. Like, I didn't care about that stuff because it's high school. You know, you're gonna go and you probably won't even see those people ever again. So, like, I never really cared about fitting in. But as I was growing up, the only thing I ever cared about with fitting in was just the whole beauty standards. Like, I just felt like I was ugly because these girls had like smaller waists and stuff, and they had cleavage and I didn't. I love my boobies for how they are, and to the itty bitty titty committees, if you're in it, you know, we roll. Just kidding. Nah, but I am happy to be in the itty bitty titty committee. That's really hard to say. So yeah, girls, if you are in the itty bitty titty committee, give it a thumbs up. Don't be ashamed. Love yourself for who you are. You gotta rock those small things. I don't know what to say to that. I don't know. I'm so awkward. Anyways, if you all enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and also comment down below if you had any similar experiences, or if there's anything you want to share, like, feel free to. I read all comments and I would love to hear your thoughts. And like I said, thanks to Nikki Rodri. You're one of the best YouTubers, and I absolutely love all your videos, and I'm just so thankful for that video that you did put out there. It was amazing, and I feel better about myself now. So that's good, and I feel a lot more confident than I actually ever did. So that's another good thing. And anyways, don't forget to subscribe and press that bell notification so you'll all be notified on my next upcoming video. Anyways, bye everybody!